Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is May 31st, 2024, and Barcelona have met to discuss their financial fair play, and it seems like they're going to need one more step to achieve the 1-to-1 rule, and I'm going to tell you what that step is. Also, Barcelona has been valued as the fourth most valuable club in the world, and finally, the club have started negotiating a contract rescission with Lenglet. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and we'll begin this video with the news that we do now know a little bit more about what transpired in the board of director meeting that occurred on Thursday. And now, as I reported in a previous video, Joan Laporta and the FC Barcelona board of directors met to discuss several topics. And now we know a little bit more about that meeting because, of course, when I reported about it, I said we don't know exactly what they talk about. I'm sure more news is going to come out. And well, lo and behold, more news has indeed come out. Now, it seems that Laporta and the board of directors discussed this past season. They reviewed how the season went. They celebrated the several contract renewals that they have achieved. For example, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Hansi Flick, Pedri, Gavi, Fermin, blah, blah, blah. There's a million renewals that Barcelona have been able to complete. They assessed the progress of the Spotify Camp Nou. And finally, they discussed the 1-to-1 rule. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, Barcelona did receive great news in regards to the 1-to-1 rule, which it comes in the form of the VIP seats. Because as you know, Barcelona sold the rights to a number of VIP seats in exchange for 100 million euros towards the end of last year. That helped Barcelona achieve the 1-to-1 rule, but then an independent auditor said that Barcelona could not count those 100 million euros as income because those seats had not been built. So then Barcelona were not under the 1-to-1 rule anymore. And of course, the club asked of the Turkish construction company Lenglet, who are renovating the Spotify Camp Nou, to please finish these seats by June 30th, which is the end of the fiscal year. And well, that Turkish company promised that they would, and actually not only did they promise that, but that they fulfilled their promise because they informed Barcelona that those seats are officially completed, and as such, the 100 million euros that Barcelona made off that deal will count as income, and as such, Barcelona expect to reach the 1-to-1 rule on July 1st, which is the new fiscal year. As I've explained many times, on June 30th, all clubs will turn over their paperwork, their financial paperwork, showing how much they made, how much they spent throughout the season. And then La Liga issues new wage limits and tells the clubs what rule they're under. So Barcelona expect that by July 1st, they will achieve the 1-to-1 rule. But it seems that after discussing Barcelona's finances during this meeting, Barcelona noticed that they are going to need one more thing to achieve the 1-to-1 rule besides the VIP seats. And that's they're going to have to close a deal worth 50 million euros. So they need 50 million euros more to achieve and stay under the 1-to-1 rule. And that can come in a form of selling players or maybe selling the rights to something else. But they're going to have to make 50 million before June 30th so they can achieve the 1-to-1, which is, of course, is going to be crucial for this summer transfer market. Now, speaking of finances, we do have to talk about Football Benchmark, which has released the list of the most valuable clubs, and it seems that Barcelona are currently sitting fourth as the most valuable football club in the entire world. Now, in number one is currently Real Madrid with a valuation of 6.2 billion euros, making it the first club in the history of football to be valued at 6.2 billion euros. Second place, Manchester City, 5.1 billion euros. Third place, Manchester United, 5 billion euros. And in fourth place, Barcelona, 4.4 billion euros. And the good news is that Barcelona have climbed 2 spots. So last year, Barcelona were the 6th most valuable club. And after a successful year, they have jumped 2 spots. And now they are the 4th most valuable clubs, ahead of Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Arsenal, PSG, Tottenham, and in number 10, Chelsea, the great giant European champions, after winning the Conference League or whatever that trophy is called that they won. But anyways, let's get back to the news, because we do have to talk about Lenglet, because it's reported that Barcelona are currently negotiating a contract rescission with the French defender. Now, as you know by now, Atletico Madrid are interested in signing Lenglet on a permanent transfer after a successful season under El Cholo Simeone. Of course, Barcelona are hoping to offload Lenglet for around 10 million euros, but Atletico Madrid were insisting that they're only going to sign him if Barcelona rescind his contract, meaning that they would sign him as a free agent. And Barcelona are reportedly now negotiating with the player a contract rescission. Now, Barcelona are still going to try to push for a permanent transfer where they can make some money, but in case it doesn't work, they are willing to rescind the contract of the player. However, the player will have to agree to forgive some money owed to him, because of course, as I've explained before, when you rescind the contract of a player, you have to pay him everything you owe him on that contract. If there's like 5 years left, you have to pay him 5 years worth of salary and bonuses and everything else in that contract. This is why it's not that easy to just cancel players' contract. It costs a lot of money. So Barcelona are negotiating with Lenglet, rescinding his contract, but in exchange, of course, he will have to forgive some money. And if that agreement is reached, then Lenglet will be able to join Atletico Madrid as a free agent. Of course, Barcelona will be able to remove his huge salary off their wage bill, which will go a long ways in registering any players that Barcelona might end up signing, including someone like Juan Garcia. Now, on to the next bit of news, because Luis Diaz made an Instagram post recapping this past season. And the post sounded to a lot of fans as a goodbye to Liverpool, and as such, the links between him and Barcelona have once again resurfaced. So let's look at this post. Let me know if you think it's a goodbye or not, and then we'll talk about the Barcelona links. Now, this is what Luis Diaz said on his Instagram page, where the Colombian attacker said, "And so comes to an end another season at this incredible club, and what a season it was. The long-awaited league title has returned to Anfield. The Premier League is ours, and it feels amazing to know that no one doubts we were the best, and because of that, truly deserved it. We were a real team, a strong group, a family, always backed by extraordinary supporters. It's hard to find fans anywhere in the world as dedicated and passionate as these. Anyone who plays for this badge is bound to miss this incredible atmosphere one day." Again, anyone who plays for this badge is bound to miss this incredible atmosphere one day. "My thanks go to everyone, teammates, coaching staff, club staff, and supporters. It was an unforgettable season, one I will always carry in my heart." So this post sounding like Luis Diaz saying goodbye to Liverpool, and this, of course, has made the links between him and Barcelona resurface once again. And then once again, I have to come here and explain. Yes, Luis Diaz is Deco's #1 option to reinforce the left wing. However, there is no plan for Barcelona to try to sign Luis Diaz, because Liverpool won 85 million euros. And Barcelona cannot afford to pay 85 million euros, especially for Luis Diaz, who is 28 years old. So unless Liverpool lower their demands, Barcelona are not planning to make this signing. So yes, there are links again, but no, Barcelona cannot pay that amount. Now, I do want to ask you guys, do you think this post sounds like Luis Diaz is saying goodbye to Liverpool? Or is he just recapping on a good season where they won the Premier League? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, let's end this video with the news that Rafael Leao, someone else who has been linked with Barcelona, looks like he will be staying put at AC Milan. Now, AC Milan have announced that they will be hiring Massimiliano Allegri as their coach. And it seems that Allegri thinks now that Leao is untouchable. So Leao just went from he's for sure leaving AC Milan to all of a sudden he's going to become an untouchable player at AC Milan, because Allegri wants him to stay at the club. So if there's any hopes of Barcelona to sign him, those hopes are over. Of course, those hopes were already over, because I've said many times before, despite Jan Laporta considering now the #1 option or his preferred option to reinforce the left wing, Barcelona could not afford to pay what AC Milan were asking for, but now even less, because it looks like he will be staying put. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago, so if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, Barca.